He was sick. Yeah.
But he's good now? Feeling better?
From the sickness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when did the injury pop up?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, he just gets tight, you know. I mean, his back got tight. It's normal. His back has gotten tight before.
I'm not sure if I've played my final game for the Jags yet or not, but my trade request still stands. Once respect is lost for both parties, I think it's time to part ways.
Well, he keeps saying that, but it takes two. And it seems like the other side isn't convinced that it is necessarily time to part ways. So, Louis, how do you see this thing playing out for the Jags and Jalen Ramsey?
I think eventually it'll come to a situation where they do part ways, because you cannot continue to have this kind of push and pull between management and the player and expect it to have any kind of tangible positive effect on your football team. You just can't. I mean, Jalen obviously has made it very clear. Don't want to play for the football team. And really, look, as Mike Tomlin said, you want guys who are volunteers, not hostages. I mean, that's kind of what this is becoming right now. And despite the fact that he is, without a doubt, a premium player at a premium position who's as good as anybody in the NFL, there becomes a point in time where you reach a point of no return. And this has reached the point of no return. You see what Doug Marrone's face looked like right there. He said, I don't know. I mean, I don't know when his back got tight. I mean, it's becoming something where now it's just become a distraction in the truest sense of the word. And they better see if they can somehow find a way to get him to where he wants to get to.
And while nobody will say exactly how today is going to play out, let me make a prediction for you how this will play out. I predict he'll go out there in the pregame warmups. I predict his back will get tight. I predict he won't play today. And that will push the story to the next level, because while you're talking about him getting traded and he's openly saying that he feels like it's time to move on for the organization. And by the way, this is for non-financial reasons. He's not seeking a new contract for them. And Jalen Ramsey even has told other teams that he doesn't even want a new deal from them right away. He's willing to play out the contract. I think his back tightens up. I think he doesn't play for them. And I think that's going to cause the Jaguars to wonder, discuss, think about the fact, okay, this guy now, we can't count on him on a week-to-week basis. He doesn't want to play with us. Do we now open up discussions with these teams that are clamoring to get him?
See, I think he's messing with the wrong Marine, though, because he's not dealing with Doug Marrone. He's dealing with Tom Coughlin. And Tom Coughlin went toe-to-toe with Michael Strahan once upon a time, someone who I think is one of the best defensive players that's ever played the game. And he did that before he had ever won a Super Bowl as a head coach. So I don't think – I know Tom Coughlin. I don't see Tom Coughlin moving off of his spot. He's a man of principle. I don't see him getting swayed, or I don't think he'll find this amusing. And I think Jalen Ramsey is a great football player. I think, yes, I agree with everything you're saying, but I think that they will just find a way to have to get on board or not play.
What if this happens week after week?
There's players in the NFL, Lou, I think you're on the same vibe with me here, that there's a reason why we've become successful. It's because we take things personal. We take things personal when we're coming up and people doubt us and people say things, and you take it to heart and you take it personal. And a thing that's really important to us is respect. And when I hear Jalen Ramsey talking about respect has been lost, how something was said, how something was done, I mean, I think that's him saying, that's it for me. And right. He's going to do whatever he can not to play for this team. Now,
once upon a time, Michael Strahan said the same thing. He retired from football. He was like, I am so mad that you fined me $500, some small amount, for being 5 minutes early to a meeting. It was out of respect. But eventually they had to come together and they went somewhere. They went somewhere special. I think the same thing could happen.
Different day and age, too. You're seeing players try to take back more power than ever before, even if that wasn't that long ago with Michael Strahan and Tom Coughlin.
I don't see Tom Coughlin.
Well, so what leverage does Jalen Ramsey have? Because, Louis, I just don't understand his play here. He's got 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah.
And then they can franchise him 2 years in a row. That's 4 years. They could potentially tell this guy you're not
the new
going
age
anywhere.
leverage is the distraction, the headache that you create.
Exactly.
All of this that we're talking about now.
And see, sometimes we overuse the word distraction, but this is truly becoming one. This is truly becoming something where it almost seems very calculated from week to week at how he is going to try and push this team's buttons to the point where then they really do go ahead and try and strike the deal. Look, Tom, when you say he's not going to move off his spot, every GM will move off his spot as long as they get value in return for what they think they're giving up. And right now, look, they're asking for something that other teams haven't been willing to come up to yet. But hey, look, if the distraction becomes big enough, he'll come down off of that price because he won't want to keep him there. It's just it's just a matter of time here, I think, before this ends. It really is.
Well, the interesting thing is, as much of a distraction as this situation has been, there's been a surprising level of excitement about his quarterback, something we did not expect. Gardner Minshew was a 6th-round pick out of Washington State in April's draft, and after winning the Jags' backup job during training camp, he replaced an injured Nick Foles in Week 1. Since taking over, Minshew has completed 74% of his passes, second highest in the NFL behind Dak Prescott, and has 5 touchdown passes with just 1 pick in 3 games. So, Matt, what have you seen from this guy?
Gardner Minshew is an air raid quarterback. Okay? Air raid quarterbacks, I will say, practice fade throws maybe 10 times more than every other quarterback. Fade throws, back shoulder, drop it in the bucket, all of them. So what I see is a guy who's unbelievable at throwing fade balls. And he's done it every single way. He's done it to the left, to the right. This one drops right in the bucket. That is a perfect throw, good coverage. But he's also got the back shoulder. And I don't like when people say, oh, it's just a 50-50 ball. There is precision to these throws. It is back shoulder. It is shoulder pad or higher. You're aiming for that outside ear. You want to severely underthrow it or lead him down the field. He has done a great job with this. The stats back it up. Watch this throw right here. This is great coverage, on rhythm, can't get a sack. Back shoulder, aiming for my ear, up top. Both guys are facing the wrong way. That is a precision throw, and he is an air raid guy in the truest sense, and he's just playing great football, and it's electric. People, it's contagious, and it's just fun to watch.
You're going from one spectrum to the other here, okay? I mean, because we just talked about what it is and such a downer it is to have your best cornerback not playing, but then you could be onto something. I mean, this isn't new, all right, to have a quarterback come off the bench and all of a sudden, man, we got something here. We can be pretty good, all right? So Minshew, I mean, so many stories of even just one-year wonders where a quarterback and you have a magical season, maybe not a Super Bowl, but he leads you to the playoffs. Could Minshew be the guy? So you see the conflict in Jacksonville. Here we go. We got this Minshew mania going on, but then what do we got going down here on the defense? We can be good. Where's my corner? Jacksonville fans want this all to be right, and Minshew could provide some change.
Ted, do you think this is a playoff team with Gardner Minshew if Jalen Ramsey plays?
I say, why not? I say, why? It's been done before. Go all the way back to Kurt Warner. Who was that guy? I mean, stacking grocery shelves, and all of a sudden he's our quarterback. Why can't it be Minshew? I know, do we joke about it a little bit because of his antics and all of that stuff? Yes, but maybe this is what Jacksonville needs.
And maybe Minshew is the guy that makes it possible for them to trade Jalen Ramsey because there's so much excitement about the quarterback. Maybe that's premature right now, but he's played well.
And the defense has complained so many times, right? Oh, where's our quarterback? Where's our quarterback? You possibly have one. And another one that's going to be, maybe you may have two.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Look, he's only made 2 starts in the NFL, but Gardner Minshew is already a legend in his own right. It started in Pullman, of course, where he had everyone from Mike Leach to the hottest sorority girl rocking a mustache, okay? Gardner's probably responsible for an increase in jorts sales, but he is most definitely responsible for a sudden resurgence of Napoleon Dynamite. Chris Connolly has the story. All right, so Club Dub may be relatively new, but if you're looking for some throwback football, this is the game for you. Vikings, Bears, 2 NFC North teams looking for their first divisional win at Soldier Field this afternoon. Dalvin Cook making Mike Zimmer's run game dreams come true. He leads the NFL in rushing yards and yards per rush, but today he is up against Khalil Mack and company coming off an absolutely dominant performance on Monday Night Football. Our Dan Graziano is out in rainy Chicago with the very latest. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Sam. Yeah, a lot of talk around the Bears this year about quarterback Mitchell Trubisky, still a work in progress. And I talked to Bears offensive coordinator Mark Helfrich, and he said there's a lot of psychological hurdles he's still trying to clear. There's no doubt in anyone's mind what he's capable of doing at times. He just needs to cut it loose a little more and trust the guys he's throwing to. Helfrich told me they have to convince Trubisky he doesn't always have to be Steph Curry. Sometimes it's okay to be John Stockton. He actually said he has to learn the difference between anticipation and predetermination. Said sometimes he sets his footwork thinking his first 2 reads will be covered, so he's set for the 3rd read, then the first read's open, and his feet are in the wrong place. So a lot of work still going on with Mitchell Trubisky in his 3rd season. Of course, while all that's going on, the Bears rely on that monster defense. They're not likely to have defensive tackle Akeem Hicks today. He hurt his knee in that Monday night game and didn't practice all week, so that hurts them. And their run defense against the run-heavy Vikings, of course, they still have a lot of depth on defense, and number 52, Khalil Mack.
Thanks, Dan. Look, we know Khalil Mack is a great pass rusher, but we want to take you a little bit deeper on this. According to our pass rush metrics powered by NFL Next Gen, Mack has the third highest win rate in the NFL. Pass rush win rate is measured by how often you beat your blocker in 2.5 seconds. So, Teddy, show us how he does it.
Okay, Sam, we're talking NFL Next Gen here, and I know how it can be confusing in terms of pass rush win rate, but I'm going to tell you how NFL Next Gen measures these statistics here. They have chips in their shoulder pads, and with these chips in their shoulder pads, they can tell when a defender is past the offensive blocker, and that's where you're getting pass rush win rate. So you have it right here. You see the chips right here? They're behind the offensive lineman, Fantee, the tight end. He has not won yet in 1.28 seconds. But in 2.2 seconds, his chips are past his. That's the measurement right there, and that's how they get under 2.5 seconds, the average time to pass the ball for a quarterback in the NFL. And here, that's a quick win at 1.6 seconds. According to Next Gen, that's a win. Even though he doesn't get the sack, he helps his teammates out there, but it's about time. It's about the chips. That's how it's measured. But against the Vikings, Matt, with the few opportunities he has, he's going to have to take advantage of them.
That's right, Teddy. I don't know if he's going to get a lot of opportunities. Why? Because when you're playing a great player, you take him somewhere he doesn't want to go. He wants to rush the passer. He doesn't want to play 9-on-7 all day long. And no one knows that better than Lawrence Taylor's old linebacker coach, Bill Belichick. Let's roll the tape from week 7 of last year. How did Bill Belichick attack Khalil Mack? He ran right at him with pulling offensive linemen, extra blockers, the way that people used to attack Lawrence Taylor. That's the kind of talent that Khalil Mack is. So go to today. The Minnesota Vikings are going to take a page from that playbook. They're going to run right at Khalil Mack. Like Rex always says, you can't get a sack on a running play. He wants to come upfield. We're going to be pulling linemen at you, tackles, guards, maybe even a fullback for good measure. We are going to run at Khalil Mack all day and take him somewhere he doesn't want to go.
And if you guys are wondering if this information actually matters to these coaches and these players on the field, in that game against the Patriots, Khalil Mack, 0 wins when it comes to these metrics. It worked.
And 0 sacks. 1 tackle for the day, and the Patriots ran for 108 yards. That's what Mike Zimmer wants to do today.
Yeah, we'll see if they can pull that off against the Bears at Soldier Field.